Alright boys, today we're going to be removing the intake manifold out of my 1988 BMW 535 IS. I wasn't planning on doing this service today, but I was working on the starter, and to continue my work on the starter I have to take the intake manifold out. So yeah, and to make things worse, we are just jam-packed into this garage with absolutely no room to work, which should make this interesting. I've never taken out the intake manifold. It's supposed to be a pretty sticky job, but for what I'm doing, there's just no way around it, so we're gonna have to pull it out. There's currently no good videos online showing how to remove the intake manifold, so I'm gonna do my best to make this the best possible video so you guys can follow along. But we're just gonna start with the basics. We're gonna remove the intake, the airbox, mass airflow sensor, the stuff that we've already taken apart before, and then just slowly remove everything else and keep track of all of our parts, because let's be honest, that's the biggest issue when tackling a job like this. It's keeping track of your parts. So yeah, let's just dive in. Alright boys, we're gonna start with all the repetitive stuff that we've already done on this channel before. We're gonna start by taking off a couple bolts, loosening a couple hose clamps, popping off a couple lines, and we'll already be halfway there. The biggest issue is gonna be reaching the bolts underneath that manifold, but we'll figure that out when we get there. See how long this takes. Looks like we got some 10mm bolts holding this fuel rail down. Alright, well, we got the fuel rail loose here, so now I'm just going to grab a couple napkins. We're going to have to disconnect some fuel lines, fuel pressure regulator, and this fuel line that connects to the fuel rail. Once we pull these out, we're going to get some fuel, so yeah, let's be careful here. So I can either take out the injectors directly out of the manifold and leave them attached to the fuel rail, or disconnect them from the fuel rail and leave them in the manifold. Right, they just pull out if I remember correctly. Oh shit, they do. Oh, that was, wow. Okay, all five popped out. Just missing one. There we go. They're all loose, wow. What else do we have connected? We have that one tube, and I think that's it. Looks like I'm gonna break the tube. Alright, well, we tried. We're just gonna rip this thing off. There was no other way around it. Alright. Alright, well, I got everything loosened up top. We have the injectors out of the manifold. Everything's disconnected. All of our fuel. I think all we have to do now is worry about these intake manifold bolts. These ones look easy to get to, but it's the bottom ones that are the problem. The one right there and the one behind this one, underneath this one. They're notoriously difficult to get to. I already have my starter out because, like I said, I was working on the starter, so hopefully I have a little bit of clearance to reach that one bolt. We do have another bracket underneath the manifold that's holding it down to the engine block. And yeah, And just for reference, the bolt that I need to get to fix my starter is all the way back there, completely just buried. If you ever replaced the bolts holding down your starter to your engine block, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't even see it, so I just have to take this manifold out. With that said, I guess I'm going to take off the mount, the bracket mount that's holding down the manifold on the other side, and we can start tackling these manifold bolts. From the other side now, you can see the bracket that I'm talking about is right here. It's got one bolt on the bottom and two underneath the manifold. And I forgot to mention this, that you're definitely gonna have to remove some coolant lines, some pipes, and your expansion tank. There's just no way around it. I hate taking out extra parts, but there was just no way around it. Even with the starter out and all these tubes out, I literally still cannot get to that bolt. So we're gonna remove this intake manifold. We're gonna have to remove a couple other 10 mils here and there, but yeah. Ooh, it's a long one. I forgot to mention the main component that's blocking access to these bottom manifold bolts is this coolant hose right here. It runs directly in front of every single manifold bolt, and it actually is this one right here, which was connected to the expansion tank that I already took off. So this is actually a little bit easier than I thought now. I'm just gonna have to disconnect this one hose, and I can actually possibly reach to the lower manifold bolts after that. So let's get ready to make a mess. The trick with these old fused hoses that just seem like they're stuck to whatever you're taking them off of is after you unclamp it, you just gotta let it sit there for a second. This thing has been fused together for 40 years. I think you could give it a couple minutes. And after that, yeah, you see that? Bam. You already got some play. Wow. Yep, there it is. All right, now we can remove the bottom one. Well, we got it off. Now with that tube out of the way, you can see the one bolt that's holding down the other tube, the actual tube that we have to take off. This is the tube that I said is in the way of all of the lower manifold bolts. So we're gonna have to take that out. I just unscrewed it, so now I'm just gonna give it a minute to expand, and then I should be able to pull it out a lot easier.
Alright, so it's been about 2 hours since I've been trying to get these lower manifold bolts out, and I haven't gotten one single bolt out. I have managed to get one fuel line out of the way. It is the fuel line that connects to the fuel rail, and it connects somewhere underneath the manifold. It's covering bolt number 3. I was able to get that out so I could at least see the third bolt, but I just could not get them out. I was about to go to Lowe's and buy every single 12mm socket and wrench I could find until I found this bad boy. And I think this guy is the key to all of our problems. This is the 12mm bolt wrench that comes with the car, and it is the absolute perfect size, and so far I've been able to fit it on every single bolt. So I think this key is going to solve all of our problems, and it's going to avoid me absolutely crashing out. So I think this should go pretty smoothly now, so I'll try again. I had to switch to an open moon wrench because there was just not enough clearance even for the BMW wrench. I left one bolt on just to hold the manifold to the car, but after this one bolt, I should be able to pull everything out. We're gonna have to be a little careful not to snap any of these brittle wires. But honestly, after I take this bolt out, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Let's pull that out, and the washer. Everything should be disconnected. Maybe something in here, I think. This is gonna have to go. Not too bad. And we got one more wire right here. I'm not sure how this comes out, to be honest. Oh, it's a pull down. It indeed was a clip. Everything should be free now, I think. Yep. Wow, nothing spilled out. That's crazy.
All right, boys, 6 hours later and the manifold is actually out of the car. And this is what we're left with. Actually, before we move on, this is a good time to say, if this video helped you out in any sort of way, do me a favor and drop a like and subscribe. It really helps. I would love to do an E30 turbo build in the future, or maybe a classic Mustang engine swap, but I can only do that with the help of the community, so feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps. And if not, click away from this video. Stop siphoning my knowledge. But anyways, with the manifold out of the car, it's nice to be able to see the coolant hose that was causing me so much problems. Usually sits right here, right in front of the manifold bolts, so you just have to get it out of the way to be able to reach them. And don't forget, the only reason I even did this service was to fix my starter, to reach one bolt that held in my starter, and that bolt is all the way back here. You can see the flywheel teeth, but the bolt is right behind the engine block, right there. And the only way I could reach it was to remove that manifold. But don't worry, we're gonna stick with the manifold in this video, and the starter will be a separate video. You already know me. Since the manifold's already out, we're gonna restore it and make it look absolutely brand new. But yeah, I'm really tired, so I think we're gonna pick that up tomorrow. Alright boys, it's the next day and here's another look at the manifolds. Obviously you can tell that this thing has seen better days, but for 40 years of top-notch work, this thing doesn't look too bad. But like I said before we throw it back in the car, we're going to be making this thing look brand new. And since we're already so deep into the car, we're going to be replacing a lot of coolant lines, a lot of vacuum hoses, and a lot of gaskets. Especially, don't forget, there's one gasket right here on the throttle body. But I was planning on doing all of this today, but I'm dealing with a slight problem. Oh, I am dealing with an absolute snowstorm today, so I cannot be doing any sandblasting outside. I can't be doing any power washing. I can't do Nothing. I am absolutely buried here. I was planning on making this video a 30-minute video from start to finish, but it's just not going to happen anytime soon. So I think I'm going to upload this video just to give you guys something to watch during this snowstorm. I hope this video helped you out in any sort of capacity. Hopefully we can get this manifold back in the car soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace.